What's up, guys? Just want to go over a trade setup that I have for an idea for Tesla today, and I'll talk about a couple other things as well. But so Tesla, yesterday I took a very nice short on it, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to play out this damn good, but it really did. I don't know what that arrow is for. Oh, this must have been from before. Oh yeah, this was just because I was going over something with a buddy of mine. Um, so this is something that I ended up figuring out here. Now, Tesla has had a very nice breakout here, and although it seems like Tesla's been pretty weak, this could actually be something that is brewing for Tesla. So what we have, if you look on a 4-hour, is we had this large downtrending channel, which is not drawn in that great right now, but either way, I guess you could potentially do something like this too. Right, actually this would probably line up perfectly. Watch this. I'm going to put it with my target. What are the odds of that? It's pretty damn close. So, you have your three highs. 1, 2, 3, triple top, huge drop, rally back up, rejection off this resistance, back down, find support again on the same downtrending line here. 1, 2, 3 touches, rip off of this same line. I drew off of like this, whether that matters or not, who cares, but this downtrending channel does matter to me, and right now it is currently sitting up at $228 roughly to $227, somewhere in there. Now, we had this monster rip off this level. Nice bull flag. And then we have consolidation down, right? This was that last touch right here. Whether or not, well, actually, no, it's not going to happen. This last touch here, bang. Rip off of this. Consolidation in this area. Rip through this. Comes back. I know there's a lot of lines, but sorry about that. I could probably delete some of these at this point because I don't think they're going to really matter anymore. So, consolidation. Rip off of this support here and a push back up. Now we're creating a bull flag, a smaller bull flag here off of a larger bull flag breakout. Consolidation on top of previous resistance. So, yesterday I put in a short on Tesla because I was talking to you guys about how I want to see Tesla come back and retest the 85.40. So, that was my initial thought going in. So, wherever Tesla opened up, I was like, I am going to look for resistance and I am going to short it somewhere. Well, where was the resistance here? Honestly, I jumped the gun really quickly because I saw this pop up and it just continued to reject here off of this 95. So I'm like, originally I was thinking maybe it comes up to like 96, 197s, but it just continued to reject here. This wasn't as like, it was a little more of a jump the gun trade than I usually do, because normally, well, maybe I might have gotten in like, maybe I didn't get in on these perfectly, right? I might have just got in like over here or something, because I don't usually just jump in on the first candle, so I can't imagine I just got in here. I can't remember the exact spot. I just know I shorted 95. So we had multiple wicks here, and I'm like, maybe it's going to make a falling wedge pop up. So this was the candle probably where I got in, somewhere in here. Anyway, doesn't really matter, but we did have a significant drop. Then I got busy at work, so I'm like, shit, maybe it's going to backtest this area as support and then rally, but I got a little busy at work, so I wasn't able to watch it too much. So I just was like, you know what, I'm going to stop loss it above this level, and if we did get back above and find support above 95s, then my idea is wrong. And, well, we fell right through. And actually, Tesla was one of the weakest ones of the day for a little while. So when we get down to the 191s, 191 area, 192, I took my profits here, actually. If I was watching it all day, I probably would have been able to get it a little lower, but I was just like, wow, that was a pretty good drop, pretty fast drop, because it was like instant, it seemed like. So I got out early. And then we came down, even though my idea was to bring it down lower. So I pretty much stopped watching Tesla all day. Then I started watching Tesla again around this level, and I was like, wow, put in this low. Is it putting in a higher low here? And unfortunately for me, I did not take a long there, even though I was considering taking the long right here. Then we came up, and I didn't really watch it for the rest of the day here. End of the day, it was holding around this 92 again, and I was like, man, maybe it's doing something. Oh, it must have been here. Maybe it's doing something, but I didn't flip over and look at it once again. And ended up later on in the night looking at this and going, wow, it looks like a very large symmetrical triangle. Breakout, back test, and pull up. So now we're getting the push. So right now, pre-market, Tesla is above the resistance of yesterday. I have that 96, so I'm probably going to keep it there because usually when I put my lines, they're there for a reason. But I am going to consider the possibility that 195 is going to be potentially the support for Tesla to potentially test and bounce off of. If we're going to be bullish today, which obviously you guys probably see SPY right now, if you guys are really into stock watching and market watching and stuff, SPY is on a breakout. I'm going to go over that chart in a few too. But first idea is, do we open up? Do we reject off of 96? If we can't clear 96, we come back in. 95. If we can't close any candle bodies completely below and open a new candle body below this 195, hold it as resistance, this will be a pretty good trade entry, potentially, if the market's going to continue up. Obviously, it's up right now, pre-market, so, we're taking it with a grain of salt that, like, hey, maybe the market's going to be up for the day and continue green today. So that's, like, the thought for today. But it's not really looking like shorts in most of this market, but we'll have to see how it plays out. So that's going to be my idea for Tesla. Potentially 195 test, confirm, and rip, and then break through the 96. And then the only resistances above, I don't have them marked out anymore, is, well, the 98.70. I think we have two, because I remember 97 was 97.61 maybe, 98, somewhere in there. But I know that 198, and then obviously the 200 level is going to be absolutely key. Where was that? It could be, I might have to find it on a smaller time frame. For some reason, I don't have them mapped out anymore. So this was a channel range that we had that we broke down. So the first one was the 96 here. Once we finally closed below like 96.30s, we did drop. So that's like one level. The second level is like 98.50. I don't know if we closed above 98.50 yet. Let me check. 98.42. Let's look over here where we last had that break. We couldn't close candle bodies below 94. Couldn't close candle bodies below 97. Found support on 90. What is this? We found support on 96. We rallied up and we got rejected up here. This is a tough one because it's like you can see that there's not too much clear stuff going on, but that 201 to 202 area is pretty strong, because you can see how we had multiple bodies trying to hold above. So we had a little range, it looks like, from 202.36 down to 95s. So that's going to be something that we're going to want to probably keep an eye on here for a potential. And then that 200, obviously, 199.83. So maybe I'll put one there and we'll just do that. So this is going to be our play. So we have, if we can break above the 95 and find support, which we're already above it, if we can hold it as support, We can pull it up to about 99.70. We're going to have to be really cautious because the last few times that Tesla has tested this area, it got rejected really hard. So it's going to be a little bit hard to hold on. Potentially, it's possible we could ride it from 95 to 99.70, close it, and then wait for some kind of confirmation that we're going to blast through. I'm not sure how it's going to play out, but I might just try to hang on and see how we do. And if I start noticing pretty bad rejections, then I'm not going to do anything about it. But it's going to be a tricky trade, but I think that this might happen today, that Tesla might be able to get above the 200. If not, it's going to flag between maybe 200 and 202 if this market remains bullish, and maybe it ends up flagging here, back testing, breaking up, flagging, you know what I mean? And it ends up potentially finally getting ready for a break. So, and then maybe tomorrow will be like a, where do we back test? So it might work all day long to try to get above that 200, possibly. We'll have to see how this plays out. Because a move from 95 to 202 and then maybe back down below 200 would make a lot of people think it's a short, and then it ends up somehow becoming a long. That's just what I'm thinking. So anyway, that's enough about Tesla. So that's my idea. If Tesla was to close below 95, hold it as resistance, then we possibly bring it back down to the 90, 92, 35 area. That'll be somewhere in here would be my support, 92.70 to 92.35. We'll have to watch that with a low of 91.80. So somewhere between 92.50 and 91.50, we'll call it. That'll be the support if Tesla does fail. We'll want to see that hold. Okay, so NVDA, we already know that I am still in a long here, and I don't normally hold on to my option trades overnight. There's only a specific times that I do that, and NVIDIA is one. So the first area that we had just talked about in my yesterday's video for NVDA to find some key resistance at is at this 272.45. We're already pretty much getting close to that point right now. That's going to be the area of concern today. If we reject off of that, right, and we can't hold candle bodies above this key level right here, then where could it go? I'm thinking we could test the 68.80 to 68.80. This looks like where we had the breakout. So if we end up coming up here to the 270, 241, if we reject and we came back down, we held this as support, that could be a good long. But I don't know if, like, being above 270, if now buyers will step in at 270 area, or if it can still come back down lower. The only way to invalidate any type of bullishness would be a close below 267.70. That would invalidate anything. It can come down there, but it cannot start closing below as resistance, or it might end up having to be like something that like back tests this trend support or something, which I don't really want to see, but that would put in a double bottom overall. So that is something to consider here when you're taking these trades. But I'm still in the long trade here. I'm just going to watch it a little bit today. I want to see how strong it gets, how high we can get. But there's some key resistance up between these areas here, because before we couldn't close any candle bodies above 273.60, and we couldn't really close and hold. We did hold between here, but then we ended up just rejecting. So we kind of want to see candle body push above the 41s, close, open, push above the 73.56, and find support on that. If that can happen today, then it's possible that you have to watch some of these smaller time frame things maybe for a better trade. If if you look at the past price action, what was the highest wick, or what was the highest candle body, was 75.60. So people will pull it up to that area here. In this range was where we were pretty much holding this as support here. 73.74, we couldn't break down below that. Then when we finally below this, 73.40, back tested this. I'm not that prepared because I wasn't looking at like what was the plan for today on that. So, but we are above the 270 now, so this is very good. But we are potentially testing some previous resistance. It's a lot of chop. See all this chop? This makes it hard for someone to come in here and like find the resistance. But I do like that right here. You can see what happened. Last time we bounced off of this roughly area between 67 and 70. This is supposed to be on the 70. It's very important. That's a very important level. 67.70. When we bounced off of here and we found support on the 82, we broke up above 270.86. We ripped up and we couldn't close any candle bodies above 272.50. We rejected quite a bit between 72.40 and 272.50, and then we rejected, and we couldn't hold any previous consolidation over here as support, and then we broke right down through, and we just pretty much got a really hard rejection until now we're finally trying again here after a lot of rejection. So that'll be an area that we need to first off look for NVDA to pop to. It could get rejected here and fall, right? You could potentially put in a short here if we see that consolidation and failing to get up, but you have to be aware that it could potentially only fall to like 270 and get a big bounce. It could fall to 268, any of those levels here, 268.80 and get a bounce, or the 267.70. There's going to be some support found somewhere, and it might even be on top of like yesterday's end of day price action, which is right here. See? Let's see. Right here, roughly, right? Maybe somewhere between here and here, 270.50 to 270.30. Like this area right here, yesterday, we were trying so hard to get above all of this, like 270 area, hold it as support. Right here looks pretty good because you can see, look at all the wicks, wick. That's just 270.06. Tries to get above, can't get above. Tries to get above, can't get above. Falls back down. Falls all the way back down here. At the time, 66. Rallies back up. Let's try again. Tries to get above. Fails. Comes back up. Hits it again. This was end of day. Now, pre-market, we're above it. So that's a level as well that I'd like to see potentially reject. Maybe it comes back. Maybe it finds support on it and it can bounce and get a good bounce off of that. And then, anyway, I know this video is kind of getting long. I got to go to work soon. SPY. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is what I've been charting out on SPY. Check this. Daily. Look. Falling channel. Downtrending resistance. Break up. Consolidation on top of downtrending resistance. And this is a flag that it pushed through. My key resistance on SPY has always been two levels. We have this one, 398, and we have my favorite level of 401.30. Whether or not this shows on here, well, technically on there, it's like, let's check on the, see if we can find something on the smaller time frames. Well, that makes sense though. Right here, 430 was pretty strong too. 430 to 417. We chopped beneath it quite a bit here. Couldn't close candle bodies. Had a lot of resistance in this range here, even right here, 399.60 to 430 in this little area. But we finally broke out. This is roughly where the breakout of that area was. If we look back into the past here, we had this 404.84 was a pretty key area. Let's see. 407. This area here. Couldn't close candle bodies below it, and then we rallied. We came back down. Couldn't close candle bodies below that. We retested this as support, and we failed when I retested this 407. So somewhere between 404.30 and 407, that's going to be the key resistance for us, and we're almost at the 404.30. So if we reject off the 404.30, then it's possible that we could come back down and retest this 420 area with a low of 397.30. I don't know how volatile it'll be. I think that if we broke 400, it would scare a lot of motherfuckers. So I'd be looking for somewhere in there, 400 to 399.50. If we do get a pullback, 401.30 has always been a key area for me. And honestly, I don't know why 401.30 has been so good for me, but it has. This has been my favorite level for a SPY. And it doesn't even show up on like a daily or an hourly. But this was an area we tested. Look at this. Come up, can't close candle body, boom, rejection. Same here, which we finally broke up over here. So that's going to be a key area for me to be watching for right here. Look at this. Come up, wick to it, 401 to 401.30. Can't close candle bodies above, double top, rejection. Rip up, can't close candle bodies above. After holding it as support here, flipped it to resistance, breakdown. So that's why it's been such a good level for me. Look at the drop off of this double top on that level. Can we finally flip 401.30 to support? That's my thought for the day. I'm going to be watching that. I don't care about that 401.30-ish area to hold as support. So that'll be what I'll be watching for SPY, and then potentially, hopefully, breaking the 404.30 after that retest, bounces back up, maybe it gets enough momentum to hit the 407s. So that's what I'm doing today. These are my few things that I'm watching. Hope you guys have a good day. Good luck with your trades. Leave a like and subscribe. Peace.